There we go. Dane and I are up 30 seconds to play the 60-second intro. Whoa! And go with the 60.
The heart of high school wrestling is here in Adams County, and nobody covers it like WZBD.
You guys got a heck of a view.
It's time for Haggard, Hershey, and Zelt High School Wrestling Weekly.
Everybody wants to be there.
It's the coolest thing in the world.
90 minutes of interviews, results, discussions, and prognostications.
I'm excited.
As Hall of Famer Rex Brewer and Dane Filling bring you another episode.
We hope that you can join us here
Live from
The Double Eagle Clubhouse Grill
on Channel Z.
I'm excited.
92.7 FM.
Haggard Hershey High School Wrestling Weekly. And kill our intro music. Thank you, Joe. Once again, we are live from Double Eagle Clubhouse Grill. Rex Brewer along with Dane Filling. And Dane, tonight we are blessed with the webmaster himself, who's engineering the deal tonight. And you and I just get to sit here and, like I said, look pretty.
That's good because I'm about exhausted from the amount of work that we've done in the last 2 nights to get this show going. We're really, really excited to talk to some coaches tonight. Had some great conversations earlier in the day with some people who really care about Team State. Our focus tonight is on Team State. We're going to be joined by former Belmont head coach BJ Farrote to talk about his experience with the Team State tournament and format back when the IHSAA sponsored it. We're going to be talking to Mike Gable at the end of the show, and in between, we're going to be talking to about half of the teams who are going to get the last-second invites into Team State. And obviously, we're just today's the 21st, right? And we're just 2 weeks away from revealing the brackets and 3 weeks away from coming back here and talking about who won a state title in 4A, 3A, 2A, and 1A. And we got a great crowd out tonight. We've got visitors from out of town. A very distinguished guest, and Jason Hayes is here with us tonight. And so we're looking forward to we've already gotten some insight from him on in terms of Team State and the way Illinois does things, the way Indiana does things. And Jason's actually coaching girls this season. So we'll talk more about girls wrestling as well in our program tonight. Really, really looking forward to it. We want to very briefly touch on what we experienced last week. Obviously, Adams Central picking up a win against New Haven on Tuesday night. It was a great duel. On Thursday night, we had a lot of fun with Adams Central and Columbia City. And then yesterday was a little bit hairy, Rex, and I owe you an apology because I kind of threw you in. I expected things to go one way, and I tried to do about 3 things at once, and I only got to do 2 of them, and you had to do the other one for me.
Well, our friends at New Haven did not help our cause any at all when you wrestled the championship match before they ever wrestled the 3rd, 4th, and 5th place matches.
Well, to be fair, I know Jimmy was trying to be helpful to us, and so was Harley. They didn't even get the brackets from their athletic director until the day before, and so I don't think it was necessarily the New Haven coaching staff, but sometimes, hard to believe, maybe a couple people out there listening right now will chuckle, but some athletic departments don't put wrestling first, and they put us down on the number of priority list, but that's okay. So obviously we don't have much time to talk tonight about the big match on Tuesday, but Tim's been doing a great job of hyping it up, and I know I got out of the car at church today, and immediately somebody was in my ear, hey, what do you think about Tuesday? As the church we go to is kind of split halfway, Belmont and Adams Central. So lots and lots of people talking about coming to Decatur and to Belmont on Tuesday night, and really that's what it's all about.
I'm the same way. People said, so-and-so's going to win that, right? And I was like, you're going to have to show up Tuesday night and see. I don't have a dog in a fight. So to me, it's going to be a great wrestling match. And I interviewed Ben Liechty after the match on Saturday, and he said the same thing. Whether you're going to root for Adams Central or whether you're going to root for Belmont, it's going to be a great match. And he said just the atmosphere itself is worth the price of admission.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people have been asking me, which way do you think it's going to go, and where do you see the matchup going? I mean, I think the storyline and the intrigue is that the pressure is on Belmont. Belmont is the favorite. Belmont's expected to win probably 8 out of the 14 matches or 9 out of the 14 matches, and I think the alternate storyline then is that Adams Central has nothing to lose, right?
Yeah.
It's not a true 50-50, and so I think that adds to it, right? That it's not necessarily just a toss-up, because then both teams would feel equal pressure. I think actually Belmont feels more pressure because they are expected to win. They are at home. They're the 2A team. Adams Central is the 1A team. Belmont has the series history on their side. They've got all these third placers coming in, all these guests. It adds to it. And you and I have been talking a lot in the last couple of weeks. It takes something to be a varsity wrestler in Adams County and have that extra pressure kind of put on your shoulders.
You know, both teams have their hammers, and they're going to win the matches they're supposed to win. The key to the match is going to come down to which guys that are your B team, your B performers, not your A stud hammer guys, they're going to step up and win. And there's some great matchups in those guys. I mean, the studs kind of miss each other from team to team, but those secondary guys, those other players on a team, that's what's going to win that match.
Yeah, and I think you're specifically talking about guys on the team whose greatest aspirations are probably, can I make it to the Coliseum? Can I be a semi-state qualifier? When somebody from Belmont with that goal and somebody from Adams Central with that goal meet up, whoever wins the most of those probably wins the dual meet.
You know, I think the X Factor, not the X-Man, but the X Factor walked past me in church this morning and did not have a cast on his hand. That'd be Jacob Vinegar at 106 pounds that, you know, they talked maybe January to be back in, and I think he's ready to rock and roll Tuesday.
And then obviously you've got the reverse, right? In that Cruz Bauer's injury might not be as bad as they thought, and he could potentially be back. And so you go from the backup wrestling the backup potentially to the starter wrestling the backup to the starter wrestling the starter. And could they cancel each other out? I don't know. I mean, obviously.
You got to remember that's a sectional champion coming in back in the lineup that's been out all season long. You know, Belmont's had some big wins, and they have not needed him because young Mr. Barker has wrestled very well in his stead.
Certainly. So join us on Tuesday. We are going to have kind of an extended pre-match. We'll have the webcam out. We're going to be talking to as many third placers as we can, as we've done in the last couple of years with the second placers and the champions. And then I'll be in Lafayette after Christmas. There's no show next Sunday on the 28th. I'll be in Lafayette on the 31st. We'll be covering the first 2 rounds of the Bronco duels at Lafayette Jeff. Adams Central is going to be wrestling Rossville and Faith Christian. And then we'll be doing the pre-show after Joe runs a wonderful seating meeting on is it January 1st? January 2nd. It's on December 29th. Oh, the intrigue. The intrigue. That's old school. That's like BJ used to have to miss Christmas Eve to go up or whatever it was. So we'll have the brackets for you to kick off the tournament on January 2nd, and then I'll have coverage of the Al Smith Day 2 on YouTube. Rex will be at Muncie Central for the girls sectional, and then we'll have the bracket reveal show on that Monday, January 5th, because there's just too much going on that weekend to turn around and get the seeds ready on that Sunday.
Where am I at? I'm doing part of Al Smith and then going someplace else?
You're doing Muncie Central sectional for girls.
On the second day of Al Smith?
Yes. So,
see, Joe, he lets me know right at the last minute.
And we're super excited to announce that we are going to be covering all of the Muncie Central girls sectional, the Muncie Central girls regional, and the state finals in those 3 weekends. You and I are going to be at Team State on the 10th.
Not in the same place, though.
Not in the same place. Well, we got backups and we got help, so we're excited about that. And Dave Nathan's going to be dipping his toe in the wrestling waters again.
No way!
It's going to be a lot of fun. So
that'll be interesting at best.
We want to give a shout out to the Double Eagle. I've had my meal. Rex has had his meal.
I went wings tonight.
The webmaster is eating his meal right now, and there's lots and lots of people here who know a lot about wrestling, have some experience in wrestling, and are having a great meal tonight. And we also want to give a shout out to Brad Weber, who continues to support this show year after year, and at local athletes as well.
I think the only reason that the webmaster is here tonight is because a week or so ago, and his wife were down here, and he tasted that spicy chili bacon jam burger, and he's like,
he wants some more of that.
I'll be in the house to run that for us. So with that, we'd like to send it to our first round of commercials. Back with more High School Wrestling Weekly right after this.
When faced with the difficult task of making arrangements for your loved one, many emotions and questions arise. What would they want me to do if they were here? Where is the money coming from? How much should I spend? Do they want burial or cremation? The staff at Haggard, Hershey, and Zelt Funeral Home can help you navigate these tough questions. Make your wishes known and allow us to make sure that your wishes are carried out. Call Ryan Hershey or Eric Zelt at 260-724-7167 to schedule an appointment today.
Shop local. It's a phrase we hear all the time, but for the staff and family at Package Liquors, it means something extra. Package, with locations in Decatur, Monroe, Bern, and Markle, is a local family-owned business that has been serving local communities for decades. We take your support and patronage and return it by supporting local athletes on WZBD and donating to different organizations across Adams County. The next time you're deciding where to shop, shop local. Shop at Package. It's where your friends shop.
Based out of the Indiana Tech Wrestling Facility, the Warrior Regional Training Center is an elite training center for youth wrestlers, high school wrestlers, and college and senior level athletes. Featuring a college coaching staff with a strong history of developing talent and producing results, Warrior RTC will give any wrestler quality training partners to push them to new levels in the state-of-the-art 25,000 square foot wrestling building. The training is affordable,
BJ, test
and
that
private
mic for
training
you.
is also available. Put Warrior
Yeah, you're good.
RTC in your corner this season.
Last
Renowned
one.
around the Midwest for his skills and his creative abilities, Nate Bowers and the team at Bowers Paint Studio in Decatur work with a wide range of clients, from collision repair to custom paint jobs for classic cars and motorcycles. Located on Monroe Street on the west side of Decatur, Bowers is your place for body work too, whether it's getting your ride back on the road or finally getting that classic car, the paint job you've always wanted. Stop by or give Nate a call to put the best in the business to work for you.
Welcome back to the Double Eagle Clubhouse Grill for our next segment here. We are in first period A. Rex Brewer along with Dane Filling. And Dane, we're joined by a guy that used to have to go to work during the summertime and during the year. And now I stand in my front yard and get ready to go work and watch him drive by because he's not working anymore.
Well, I'm working at the golf course.
Yeah, I know.
Just different type of work. So,
Well, we're joined by former Belmont head coach and former state champion Brent Perot. And Coach, we brought you on tonight because we want to talk about Team State. And obviously you were there when the IHSAA introduced it back in the mid-'90s, and you were there when the IHSAA dropped it, the Coaches Association picked it up. So just your initial thoughts on the importance of Team State and what it meant to the Belmont program when you were there.
you know, I loved it. I loved that format. It got more kids involved, and as far as your team, if your team qualified, you knew that it'd keep those kids around. And we usually had some depth, and that kid that didn't have the varsity spot at sectionals, hey, team regional, we'll get you in the lineup. Team state, we have a chance to juggle lineup and stuff. So it was always keeping kids involved and stuff too, and having that depth was important. But I loved that format. I loved the team regional. I loved when we went to Center Grove. That was a great experience.
And certainly when we've talked about, whether it's Adams Central or Belmont or South Adams the last couple of years, the amount of guys who have been on the outside of the varsity lineup looking in, hoping that they're going to be able to contribute on that one Saturday, has made a big difference in the growth of all three of those programs. And not maybe necessarily even the growth, but the sustainability of those programs in keeping kids out. We've talked to South Adams coaches before about trying to recruit kids off the football team. Hey, we need you for Team State. That team that you lost to in the football tournament, we're going to wrestle them again in January, and we need you to be able to beat them. Same thing for Adams Central, and I think that's a huge part of it, especially for those 1A and 2A teams.
I can give you a different aspect of the Team State duels because I refereed at Center Grove one time, and that place was wild. I mean, I worked the first round with Greg Moe, and he and I worked a lot together, and we understood that you had to have good communication because in that building, you could not hear anything. This close to each other on the mat, you couldn't hear anything.
There was something else. That atmosphere in Center Grove, there was nothing beat that other than maybe the individual state finals. I mean, as far as the team concept there, I mean, just you'd have so many good matches going on, and you'd hear something going on, or went this match, you look over. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. That Team State, I was glad that we got to experience that.
And then obviously, the Team State format continues to sort of work with the romantic part of wrestling, in my opinion, which is the dual meet, one team against another team, all 14 guys against all 14 other guys. And, you know, the idea of getting rid of that with the IHSAA, and had the Coaches Association not picked it up, it really could have shifted Indiana into a sort of a different lane that they were going in individually. And I know Belmont didn't get in the first 2 years, and that was sort of a bone of contention up here in our area. But ultimately, the Belmont program has embraced it, and it's been a big part of what Coach Gunsett did after you were gone, and now Coach Myers.
Yeah, it's just such a different format, though. I mean, I just remember the team regionals when we had them at Muncie Central, and then when we moved it to Adams Central. I remember last year we had it, 2012, and we had a match at Yorktown went down the wire, and then it was either Snyder or Carroll went down the wire. And I remember our assistant commissioner there, and I went right after the meet, that atmosphere in there, and I went in there and said, "This is what you're going to take away from us, man? How can you take this away?" Because I was so disappointed that we were losing that, because I loved, getting 14 guys ready, and plus, a handful of other guys that if we had to juggle that lineup, and that was always fun to make that decision. Hey, if they go here, we're going to go there, and there's so much more strategy involved in a dual meet than the individual stuff.
Well, in Robert's defense, I worked some team regionals that were nothing like that. And that's what happened. It's like the consistency across there, as a whole, there was some hot spots that had some really good matches, and there was other ones that were not. And as the whole, that's why they made the decision to do that.
I know that's what I've heard. But
yeah. And now what's interesting is we saw it last year for the first time, is that the girls had their own team state, and kind of in the old format of what it was. It wasn't officially sanctioned by the IHSAA, but they kind of stole from the boys setup from the 90s and early 2000s of inviting some sectional champions and working their way into a team state championship. And I think, that's on the girls side of thing, it's a natural progression of, okay, the first year you got 6 girls, and then you got 9 girls, and then you have 12 girls. And then the next step is in the next year you say, hey, if we could get 3 more girls out and fill this many weights, we could actually win. We could have a full schedule where we wrestled on Tuesday nights rather than just wrestling on Saturdays. That's a huge step forward in a program. And I think the IHSAA has recognized that. And there's talks out there that they're going to take on that girls' state tournament. And who knows what that means potentially for a boys' tournament.
I'm going to bounce this off you, BJ. Do you feel that the best part of the Coaches Association taking over the team state is to put in the classes and let those classes, because basically instead of one path in one class race like you do in individuals, to make that a 4 class and do like we are tonight, in inviting another 4 teams in tonight to open that up.
Oh yeah, I think going to class scene is a good thing, and it's just going to promote the sport more, and to this day, I always wonder if we would have had a class setup. I think where we were, how many times we'd been right there, compete for state finals, state championship, being a 2A school and stuff. Obviously we were in several years going in a 1-class system, but I always wonder if we had been set up like the other sports, how many state runner-ups, how many state titles we might have had then.
Well, if the IHSAA did that, they may have had more success, and they may have had a bigger draw, and they wouldn't have dropped it due to lack of funding, probably.
Right.
Now, on the flip side of that, did you ever imagine back in 95 or 98 or 99 that we'd have a radio show here in Decatur where you were one guest and Mike Gable was the final guest? Yeah. We had a great time touring Evansville Mater Dei High School when we were down there for the state finals when it was in Evansville. And it was crazy to hear Mike Gable talk about the respect that he had for you and your program and Decatur and all of these things. And honestly, he's become a great friend to us and the program. And there's a lot of mutual respect. And then obviously there's another layer of that with the relationship between Tim and Greg.
Oh yeah,
that's gone on.
Wrestled together in college. So.
But it's kind of a funny storyline to come out of that, because I tell you what, if you would have told 12-year-old Dane Filling that he'd be sitting here interviewing BJ Farrow and Mike Gable at one time, he would have thought the world had flipped directions.
The school tour, the school tour is kind of interesting because he'd talk about how much he loved us, and he turns back, and I look at Dane like, is he talking about us? Yeah.
it would have been interesting to see what they would have done in that format. Like, right now in the Coach Association, they chose to stay up. Well, now they, back then, the format for the other sports now, you stay up, you keep winning, you stay up and stuff. So that would have been kind of interesting to see how that worked out.
Yeah, for sure. If they would have had 3 classes back then, it wouldn't have taken them long to be wrestling in 3A.
I mean, you're talking about the best team in the state for how many years, how many state titles they win in a row. We were competing against one of the best teams in the nation at that time. I mean, they were top 10 in the nation for many years. The run they put on. So.
And I remember talking to you, having a conversation when the IHSAA decided to split 5A football into 2 and go 5A and 6A, and thinking about the fact that football teams only had to be the best out of 32 schools in Indiana to win a state title and gain all of this lore of playing at Lucas Oil and all these other things. Meanwhile, in wrestling, there's still 305 schools and they get 1 state title.
Yeah.
So,
that's interesting. Yeah.
Well, we're going to be talking to teams from 4A in the beginning of our show tonight, and we'll work our way all the way down to 1A to invite the very last team in, and we're really excited about that. But before we let go of you tonight, we definitely want to talk a little bit about Tuesday night and Adams Central and Belmont. Rex likes to talk about his first memory of wrestling Adams Central on the mat. You as a wrestler, what do you remember about your first match when you were the varsity guy wrestling against the Jets?
Probably got a pin. I'm not sure.
You don't remember it?
No, I do not. I honestly don't.
What about as a coach? What do you remember about some of those duels?
I remember losing to him the first 2 years of my career and getting some letters from fans and trying to chase me away after the first couple of years of losing. And then they had one of the best dual teams in that first year would have been '89.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal. I mean, and we had a pretty solid team, but it took us I think we lost the first 6 or 5 or 6 matches, and then Paul Baker finally got, returned state champ for us, finally got a win for us. But they had a phenomenal dual team back then. Like I said, our first 2 years. So I do remember those first 2 years losing to them. Then I put a pretty good streak together, beating them. But no, it was one of those. It was one of those matches I always look forward to and stuff. And as we got into longer in my career and stuff, but it felt like it was a no-win situation. We're supposed to beat them, and if I don't,
and that's what I was talking about in the opening segment. Is I do think that there's a little bit of added pressure for Belmont in that they are the favorites and they are expected to win.
Most of the time we are, and it's like I said, I always felt like it was a no-win situation, and fortunately we came out on top most of the time. But like I said, and then I don't know how many we pulled off wins in a row, and then I lost to him one of my last years as a coach and stuff. So, but no, it's always a fun meet. Everybody looks forward to it and stuff. But I think this one's, I'm looking at their lineup and looking at our lineup right now. It's going to be a good duel. Like I said,
Dane,
we're favored in. I'd say we're favored in 4 or 5, and they're heavily favored in 4 or 5. And I heard you guys talking about those swing matches earlier, and that's what it is. I mean, you got to get those guys, fired up.
Dane, what do you have? A 7-7 or an 8-6?
Yeah, I mean, most people are saying 8-6, Belmont with a slight favor, but I think there's probably 2 bouts out there that Adams Central had guys who wrestled a different weight last year and are either up a weight or are down a weight where they could easily flip-flop. There's a lot of talk about what's going to happen at 215 and 285. Belmont struggled at 215 so far this year and trying to find somebody in there. They've used a couple of different guys. We've seen Adams Central in the last 2 weeks use 2 guys back and forth, 215 and 285, and that's kind of the luxury that you have when you have that kind of flexibility. And Adams Central actually has a larger team, a larger squad, and a little bit more depth, I think, than the Belmont Braves. But I do think that Belmont's favored in more matches than Adams Central is.
I think Adams Central has the ability to flip at about like 26, 32, 38. They've got guys that they can rotate in through there, and I think there's going to be a lot of chess matches going on that night.
Now, obviously, on Tuesday, then also they are recognizing the third placers, and I figured we might spend a little bit of time talking about some of those guys that you remember. I'm trying to remember. I was trying to pull it up, but I couldn't find the right document. Your first third placer,
Paul Baker, unfortunately.
It would have been Paul Baker.
Yeah.
And so Paul,
first state placer for me ever, and unfortunately we didn't get him in the finals that year. And
Paul will be there on Tuesday night.
Oh, yeah.
And then obviously we were talking about John Sheets winning third place 3 different times, and also in a kind of a
again, you go back to John Sheets. What an amazing career. Wins it as a freshman, and he's in the semifinals 4 years in a row. It's just he's right there. That's what a
And people are talking.
outstanding career he had.
People are talking on Facebook. Most people don't realize he went on college and almost won the nationals for Division II for Manchester.
Yep.
And then the one that I was talking about with Rex before the show started was I told him that I was an impressionable age when Tim Ortiz won third place, because he was my absolute hero when I was I was probably 8th grader or a freshman, and I just thought he could beat anybody in the entire world. And that was such a great tournament run that he had, from the sectional at Adams Central to the regional at Snyder. That he had a great senior season.
He did, yes.
And then I don't know, who were the other third placers that were on your list?
Matt Irwin.
Matt Irwin was on there. And obviously he collected first place, second place, and third place.
Yeah,
and
another one that did
Johnny
that.
Froat.
Yep.
Johnny Froat, one he coached.
Yep.
Johnny Froat was in there.
Well, Johnny was before me.
Okay.
Yeah, came on it.
And then I don't was he going to be here Tuesday? I know
I'm
Tim
not sure.
had mentioned that maybe he had an illness in the family or something, but
Yes.
it sounds like just about everybody but Steve Carter is going to be there for.
We're gonna have to
Belmont.
drive to Louisiana and find Steve Carter and just drag him
kidnap
back
him and
here.
bring him back next year for when they.
It was interesting when Tim finally got a hold of him. He asked about Belmont wrestling. He goes, "Did they ever win a state title then?" And so he had no clue. I mean, he never followed it. But he's a guy that I just remember. I was a freshman, sophomore on the team when he was a junior, senior, and I just remember that cradle he had. It was awesome. Watching him lock that up. Yeah, great cradle. Probably like Randy Baker and Pelosi right now. Xavier's got. I mean, he's right there with Randy Baker, having one of the best cradles we ever had. But Steve Carter was the one guy when I was young, watching him lock up that cradle, and it was lights out after that.
See, BJ, you had the luxury of being a little guy. You didn't have to wrestle Steve Carter.
Right.
He was right on the edge, and I had to wrestle him. And people didn't realize how tall he was. Carter was like
He's
6'1", 6'1". I mean, you'd set up your best shot ever, set it and shoot, and you get nothing but air.
Right.
Couldn't even get close to him.
Last couple minutes here in our segment before we get into revealing those 4A teams. Tell us a little bit about your role with the Belmont Club right now, what you've been doing, what you are enjoying, what some other guys are doing.
I'm just, like I said, I go up there 2 nights a week. I helped with the club last 3 years. That's something I told Tim and Sean that, that's something I could give back. I know it was always tough after high school practices and, walking in that room and changing, and being ready to face the little kids after hard high school practice. And I told them, that's something I could do and help out. We got a great number of fathers up there with their sons right now. It's fun going up there because I look in the room right now. In that room, there's probably 9 to 10 guys I coach that have kids up there now, and they're all on the mat helping. So it's a lot of fun. I got grandson up there, so it's a good time up there, and we're doing it over at the middle school right now, and it's working out well. But I enjoy it. Like I said, first time I went in a couple of years ago, I got away from it completely for 4 or 5 years and walked up there, and it was fun going in there because a lot of my ex-wrestlers up there with their kids now.
And two of the guys who we were talking about third placers, right? You've got Ben Farrow, who's helping out on the high school staff now. Randy Baker's got his oldest son on there as well. That's really cool to see. And another guy that you're going to see, I think, on Tuesday night is Jimmy Mankey, whose son ultimately didn't wrestle at Belmont, but what an
national champ,
incredible, exceptional athlete that he is.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, well, Coach, thank you for coming on the show tonight and giving us a little bit of insight into Belmont wrestling and to Team State. We're looking forward to reading off the names of 15 different teams. And there's some coaches out there whose programs are going to be changed because they're getting the call that they're getting invited to this tournament, and they're adding some prestige to their program and another accomplishment, and hoping to make a name for themselves as they grow their programs.
I just hope eventually they move it towards the end of the year. This is what the timing is. When they switch to that, the one thing I'm glad they kept the Coach Association tournament going and doing it, but it was hard to explain to people. Well, state's going on right now. They used to, you had sectional before. Now, well, this is team stuff, and then we go to the individual tournament.
There certainly has to be,
people,
we're so deep into it now, 13, 14 years, right, that we do have to take a step back and say, this is probably the best the Coaches Association is able to do.
Yeah.
Based on the parameters that are given, because
the season's not long enough.
There are coaches who are going to get a call tonight, who are going to have to call their AD in the morning and explain to them, hey, that contract that we had for January 10th, you're going to have to cancel that. And we're going to have to pay to get out of that potentially, or we're going to have to send our JV, and you're going to have to get another bus, and you're going to have to do this on 2 weeks' notice. Oh, and it's winter break. It's not ideal in a lot of ways, but I do think that the buy-in has been there for the last probably good decade from most programs. And when we talk to these coaches tonight, you're certainly not going to hear anybody who says, well, yeah, we'll probably come.
Okay.
I mean, everybody that we call tonight is going to be extremely excited about having the opportunity to compete.
The teams tonight that are getting invited in 2 and 3 years ago, they changed their schedule to make this happen tonight.
A lot of them have, for sure.
So with that, let's send it back for a round of commercials, back with more wrestling and our first segment on the draws right after this on WZBD's YouTube channel.
Locally owned and operated by Shane Reynolds and family, DDD Maintenance and Repair is your place to go for heavy-duty truck and diesel engine repair. Located just outside of Monroe, DDD Maintenance and Repair also offers sand and glass blasting for all of your surface restoration projects. Whether you're looking to get your truck or diesel engine to run like new, or your metal restoration project to look like new, we have a blast renewing the past. Give Shane and the guys a call at 223-5442. That's DDD Maintenance and Repair. If you're serious about taking your wrestling to the next level, then Warrior RTC Wrestling Club is the place to be. Every Sunday at 4:30 and Wednesday at 6, boys and girls from different elementary, middle, and high schools come together to build skills, confidence, and lifelong friendships. With high-level experienced coaches and a positive training atmosphere, every Warrior learns to work hard and have fun doing it. Whether you're chasing your first medal or your next state title, Warrior RTC will help you in your relentless pursuit of self-improvement. Visit online at warriorrtc.com to learn more about the year-round wrestling opportunities and train like a champion.
Ho, ho, ho. 'Twas the season for giving, and throughout the community, neighbors shopped local with remarkable unity. They found clothes and toys that make children glad, sparkling jewelry for mom, electronics for dad. Why, everything you need to spread holiday cheer is all readily available right now and right here. This reminder to shop local for all your heart yearns comes with Merry Christmas wishes from First Bank of Bird.
The staff at Haggard, Hershey, and Zelt Funeral Home is honored to serve the community we love and live in. Locally owned and operated by Ryan Hershey and Eric Zelt, we understand that each family we serve and each life lived tells a unique story. Our goal is to offer comfort, care, and dignity to all who entrust their loved ones to our care. We are proud to call Adams County our home and look forward to serving you for generations to come.
Welcome back to Double Eagle Grill. As tonight special was wings and a PB&J burger, which was jalapeno jam and peanut butter on a burger. I don't like jalapenos or peanut butter, so that was a no for me. I want the wings tonight. Joe had the just straight up burger. You had some cheese.
I had a burger and, of course, some cheese curds and some tots, as always.
Always a good time at Double Eagle. And I've got some soup to go for my wife. They have great soup here. So if you come to Double Eagle, their menu is vast, and everything is fantastic.
Well, we were talking earlier about the girls tournament that we're going to be covering, Muncie Central Sectional, Muncie Central Regional, and the state finals. And Rex, that's brought us a whole new class of advertisers. And so we want to make sure that we give a shout out to them. None other than your boy, Nate Spangle.
The Spangle
has stepped up and wants to make sure that what we do is supported. So make sure that you tune in to WZBD on YouTube for all 3 weekends of the state tournament. And we've got a new sponsor.
So with 1 billion followers, I think Nate's got a couple extra bucks he can swing us.
Well, it's actually not Nate who is our sponsor, but we want to give a big shout out to Kids Zone Party Rentals, Indiana's go-to for bounce houses, tents, and everything needed for a fun party. They proudly support Indiana wrestling, and they have party gear for every occasion across the Hoosier State. Visit them at kidzonepartyrentals.com to reserve today. We'll hear from them again later on in the show.
I saw a bounce house going by earlier today, and I thought, I hope they're sitting up in somebody's pole barn because it's a little bit chilly outside.
You would hope so. So, are we ready to go on this? I don't even know if I'm ready to go. I'll make sure I have the right things here. So, when it comes to 4A, let's talk a little bit about who's already in. Obviously, the big three are in: Brownsburg, Center Grove, Crown Point in alphabetical order. Evansville Mater Dei, you heard Coach Farote talking about them earlier on. And Avon, after what I would say is a little dip a couple years ago, they're back up towards the top of 4A. And Westfield's off to an undefeated start. They hosted a great tournament a couple weekends ago. And so those are the 6 teams that are in for 4A. And there's 2 teams left to add. And I don't think it's going to come to anybody's surprise. I called Coach McGinley earlier this afternoon and said, hey, you guys are in. He said, thanks. We really appreciate it. We're looking forward to it. The Fighting Irish of Cathedral are there. And that's a team that's, you're not looking at them, well, could they win the 7th or 8th place match? They're a team who's going to look to go 8-6 or 7-7 with everybody that's there. They may not end up accomplishing it, but that's always a really talented squad. And they've wrestled a tough schedule already, and they're a mainstay, right, in that 4A tournament. Last year, they did end up finishing 8th, and so they'll want to better their position this coming year. And obviously 4A is at Brownsburg, along with 2A, where I'll be, and you're going to be at Franklin for 1A and 3A.
I got the odds. You got the evens.
Yep. And obviously, another thing that a lot of people might be talking about, just to remind people that, and Joe can correct me here if I'm wrong, Mater Dei and Cathedral both choose to wrestle up in 4A. Cathedral is not a 4A school, but they choose to wrestle in the 4A division. And maybe we don't talk about that enough, of just how tough that is and what a bar that sets for their programs and their standards, obviously. But I don't think it will come to a surprise as anybody, I should say, that Cathedral will be one of those 8 teams competing on January 10th at Brownsburg. Well, are we ready to make our call for the 8th and final team there?
I've got it dialed up, so let's go here.
Let's go.
Don't get voicemail. There's another team waiting to get in behind you. Hey, this is Rex Brewer and Dane Filling with the High School Wrestling Weekly. Who am I speaking with?
Yep, it's Michael Wyman. It's the head coach. I got all my guys here, and you guys, it's awesome. I'm trying to tell them to calm down because they're getting crazy. And yeah, hey, how are you?
Hey, Coach, glad to have you back on the show, and we just want to let you know that you guys are in for 4A Team State. Coaches.
Yes! Oh, I got in! Yeah!
Better turn him down here. So much for audio.
Yes! All
right, Coach. Now, Coach, put your inside voice on so I don't blow the speakers up in the double eagle here.
Sorry.
You're good.
Sorry.
Well, Coach, tell us, how did your team approach sort of the idea that you might be able to get into this tournament, and how did it shape the first half of your season?
It was a goal. You know, like there's times where you have expectations. You have expectations as a team. But this is the first opportunity that we had a chance to be at Team State. And so that was the goal. And my guys have done this together forever. And they knew, like, we've done it in elementary, we've done it in middle school, and this is our goal. This is the next goal, is to be good enough to compete for a state championship, dual meet championships in high school. And that was that goal. And they knew it. And this whole entire season leading up to everything was everybody picked each other up. Guys did their job. Other guys didn't do their job. Other guys picked up and did their job. And that's what a great dual team does. And that's what they want. And we want to be a part of this for the next 5, 10, 20 years. Because that's what they want. And for us to get an opportunity to have this and be a vote in, we're ready. We're going to have fun. We're going to compete. We're going to give everything we got because we've been doing it since they were in second grade together.
Well, Coach, you guys have had some great experience already this year in wrestling and some really, really close duels with some of the best teams in the state. How does that sort of prepare you for what is a a pretty monumental task competing against those other 7 teams that are in there with you in 4A.
Well, you know what? We made history. Noblesville's never been a part of this, ever. And we did that. And when we did it, we knew that we were going to do it. And now it's the point of time to go, you know what? We're just going to have fun. We're going to compete. We're going to fight. And we're going to hunt. And whatever happens, happens. But every one of our kids are excited and ready for this opportunity because that's what they've been training for. And I'm excited for this opportunity. And I'm excited for the guys.
Well, we're certainly excited for you, and I'll already put in Rex's first shameless plug. Rex loves himself some swag. So if you got a Noblesville Team State 2026 shirt, he wears a double
2X.
a 2XL. He would love to see it. You have anything like that planned, or have you not had a chance to think about it?
Well, you know what? No, but we will get something taken care of. We will get that taken. We will. QXL. What do you wear?
I'm a medium. Rex has got me by a few pounds.
He's a
Rex-
medium.
Rex-
He's a medium.
Rex, you're double X. You're a medium. Gotcha.
Gotcha. We got somebody yelling your name out here in the crowd. You know Jason Hayes?
Yeah. Hey, Hayes. We went to college together.
He says
He's a legend.
He says he's proud of you.
I love him. Please tell him I said I love him. He's my dog.
He's in front of the speakers. He can hear every word you're saying, Coach.
Yep. All right, Jason Hayes. Bub, we made it. We did it, Hayes. We did it. We're dogs. Let's go.
Well, Coach, congratulations. We're going to move on to 3A here. Congratulations to your boys, and I really look forward to seeing what you guys do at Brownsburg on January 10th.
Time to hunt. Time to hunt. That's our motto.
All right, take care, Coach.
So with that, we'll give our shout out to our new sponsor. Wrestling season in Indiana is all about grit, discipline, and heart. And when it's time to celebrate a hard-fought win, Kids Zone Party Rentals has your back. They're proud sponsors of Noblesville, Westfield, and Fishers Wrestling, and proud supporters of Indiana student athletes. From birthday parties and team celebrations to school events, Kids Zone Party Rentals brings the fun with bounce houses, inflatable games, and unforgettable experiences. Celebrate like a champion. Kids Zone Party Rentals, locally owned, family-focused, and proud to support Indiana wrestling. Book today at kidzonepartyrentals.com.
And with that, let's send a round of commercials, and our engineer will take care of that for us. We'll be back with our second segment right after this on WZBD's YouTube channel.
Hello, this is Joel from your local hometown Package Liquors. Package Liquors provides the best selection of domestic, import, and craft beers in Z-Lane. With locations in Decatur, Monroe, Bern, and Markle, you're always just a short drive away from picking up the perfect last-minute gift or just the right six-pack to watch the game with friends. You're never a stranger when you walk through the doors, and our smiling staff never has a problem giving you a recommendation when you're not sure what it is you need. Stop in at one of our 4 locations and see what hometown service looks like. Package Liquors, it's where your friends shop.
Based out of the Indiana Tech Wrestling Facility, the Warrior Regional Training Center is an elite training center for youth wrestlers, high school wrestlers, and college and senior level athletes. Featuring a college coaching staff with a strong history of developing talent and producing results, Warrior RTC will give any wrestler quality training partners to push them to new levels in the state-of-the-art 25,000 square foot wrestling building. The training is affordable and private training is also available. Put Warrior RTC in your corner this season.
Renowned around the Midwest for his skills and his creative abilities, Nate Bowers and the team at Bowers Paint Studio in Decatur work with a wide range of clients, from collision repair to custom paint jobs for classic cars and motorcycles. Located on Monroe Street on the west side of Decatur, Bowers is your place for body work too, whether it's getting your ride back on the road or finally getting that classic car, the paint job you've always wanted. Stop by or give Nate a call to put the best in the business to work for you.
You hear it all the time. Do you have the right insurance coverage? But are you really taking that question seriously? Josh Book may be stationed in his home office in Noble County, but he's ready to serve you if you're listening to this broadcast, no matter what county you're in, and help you get the best insurance for your farm, business, or home. A proud insurance agent with Farm Bureau Insurance, Josh is ready to have a conversation with you about the rates you're paying and the coverage you're getting. Give him a call and have that important conversation with an experienced Farm Bureau agent today. Find out more at infarmbureau.com.
Welcome back to the Double Eagle Clubhouse Grill. as we make our way to second period. We second period A or B, Dane?
We're in second period A,
Okay.
and we get to invite 4 teams from 3A. Obviously, we were talking earlier about the team state format. Originally going from a 3-class tournament and then splitting 3A into 3A and 4A, much like they did in football in Indiana. And I'm sure Joe would agree. The creation of 3A is just it's exploded the competitiveness. There are probably 25 teams out there who consider themselves contenders for 3A team state next year.
So that made your job so much easier this morning, didn't it?
It made it incredibly difficult. There's so much parity in that level, and that was ultimately what the goal was. So let's run through the teams already invited in 3A.
And I must say, Joe has a beautiful graphic that he brought up when he took our ugly pictures off the screen.
He probably
it was
should
a
do
beautiful,
it that way.
beautiful graphic he had up there.
So up in Northwest Indiana, you've got Lowell, right? They're in for 3A. In the northeast corner of the state, you've got New Haven. And then in the Indy area, you've got New Pal and Roncalli. That makes up 4 of your teams. And then down south in the southern semi-state, you've got Franklin, Floyd Central, Columbus East, and Bloomington South. And it's a really, really competitive class, and it's going to be awfully interesting. And what we've found in the last few years, ever since we've had this split, is some of the teams that get invited in 3A in the last vote-in are the most competitive teams when it comes through. So that split and then the addition of 4 extra teams and expanding it from 8 to 12, right, was a key step. Ultimately, it was kind of forced through because I think Joe's laughing over there. He remembers it was like, if we don't split if we don't add 4 teams, we're going to end up getting a potential finalist not in with the way they qualify. And so there was just that much parity. It's the way that it needs to be. So we have 4 teams to invite when it comes to 3A. I'm going to read them off in the order that Joe has them on Indiana Mat, or maybe that I've added them. And they're in no particular order on here.
As you look that up, I will tell you that my Floyd Central Highlander T-shirt is one of the coolest ones I have. The Highlander, he's a BA mascot.
I almost wore mine tonight, but I didn't want to appear partial. Coach,
you got your Belichick
right.
hoodie on.
Coach Sisson hooked us up a while ago, and I've got a book to return to Coach Sisson as well. I got to get it back to him. I have to give him to you because I'm not going to see him.
I'll trade him a book for a new T-shirt. My T-shirt's
so if
got
he's
a
out
hole
there
in it.
listening, So in no particular order, the teams under consideration in 3A were Terre Haute South, Chesterton, Decatur Central, East Central, Hobart, Jasper, Mishawaka, Munster, New Albany, Plainfield, and East Noble.
So how many checks full of cash unaddressed showed up at your house?
It was a huge group. There was 0 cash exchanged. I only have 1 of 9 votes, by the way. And but yeah, there were a lot of teams who made a really good case. And honestly, I think this is the one class where I thought I had it figured out 2 weeks ago. And then snow came and threw a wrench into the 3A standings. And then this past weekend came and some teams made some pretty strong cases. This is one of those things where a lot of the really good 3A teams throw their weight around against the teams in 4A. And they may not win some of those matches against some of those big teams, but they certainly show any team out there in the state that can stay within 20 or 25 points of the big 3 and 4A. That's a really good dual meet team, Rex. There's not a whole lot of teams out there who can score more than 10 points against a Center Grove or a Crown Point or a Brownsburg. And there's some teams in this 3A tournament who have scored 20, 25, 30 points against them.
You look at the 2 teams we talked about that choose to play wrestle up in 4A. What would they do in 3A? I mean, at times you think that they're the cream of the crop. They're gonna easily win that 3A, but I don't think that's the case anymore. There's some of those 3A teams are right there with these guys.
So without any further ado, we are excited to announce that for the first time ever, Decatur Central will be competing in the 3A Team State Tournament. I did have a chance to talk to Coach Schluter earlier today, and he told me that after yesterday's Marion County tournament, he definitely had an inkling that he thought that they were going to get in. Decatur Central, with their highest ever finish at the Marion County Tournament, they finish in third place behind Roncalli, who's already in 3A, and Franklin Central, who is a 4A team. He said it's the most finalists they've ever had. It's the highest points they've scored, and it's the highest finish that they've ever had. And that's a team that's had a really, really good start to the season, and a newcomer to the 3A Team State Tournament. Their only loss is to Whiteland, I believe, this year on the dual side of things. They have wins over Plainfield and Terre Haute North, who were also in consideration, along with Gibson Southern, who are a 2A Team State team. So a shout out to the Hawks of Decatur Central from Marion County and Coach Aaron Schluter. And they're the first team in here for 3A. And we're going to make a call now to the second team that we're going to invite here right now.
Don't go to voicemail.
This is Coach Jones.
Hello, this is Rex Brewer and Dane Filling with the High School Wrestling Weekly. Were you expecting a phone call from us tonight?
Yes, sir.
Well, you got it.
That's awesome. This is an honor. I'm speaking for my staff here. Just to be considered in this group, because there's some really good teams out there at 3A. This is a first for Plainfield. So, this is a testament to our guys.
Well, tell us a little bit about how your season has gone so far and how you've used Team State to sort of motivate your boys to show up each and every night.
Well, I tell you, this season we had a Center Grove invite, and that was something special because we got to see really good competition right off the bat. That's a great tournament to open up with Center Grove, Brownsburg, Westfield, Roncalli, Homestead, Hamel Southeastern, and Columbus North. That put us in the right direction. We turned in and we actually wrestled Avon pretty tough this year. And that's always been something here in the county, here in Hendricks County, that you got to push through with Avon and Brownsburg. And it just comes down to basically wrestling is hard. I learned that term from Wade McClurg when I was coaching with him at Roncalli. And it's been pushed really hard here in our program, just because you're not going to get what you want all the time in wrestling. It's a hard sport. You're going to have nicks and bruises and dings and all that good stuff, but you just got to push through it. And you just got to find that of being accountable and effort and pushing that in the room because those are non-negotiable, everyday things. No shortcuts, doing the small things right to get where we need to be. And we use Team State. Honestly, we don't talk about it as an end goal as much as it should be treated as an expectation year over year. If the guys start treating it like we need to be there every year, I think we run into this opportunity here, which has happened, and I'm just so happy for our guys.
Well, Coach, obviously you've had a chance to wrestle against Decatur Central, who we just announced before you is also a newcomer to the 3A Team State Tournament, and you've also had a real good look at the team right now that I have ranked number 1 in 3A in Columbus East. So you've seen the competition that you've got. How do you describe your team's chances, you think, at competing at the tournament on January 10th?
Well, to be honest with you, we're going to go into it with the expectation of just giving a lot of effort. Decatur Central is a really good team. They're really tough up top. And I tell you what, that Columbus East team, from 50 all the way to heavyweight, watch out, guys. I'm telling you what, they are lights out. Coach Cooper does a great job there. Coming from that tournament yesterday, his program's phenomenal. And I tell you, I think we can match up. We've seen Roncalli too. It just really depends on how everything folds out, match to match. It's just doing everything to be in the right spot at the right time, slowing it down to where we wrestle our pace, our match. And that's the only way we can get through it. If we win, we win. We lose, we lose. But in the long run, it's a win-win either way.
Well, Coach Jones, we congratulate you on a big accomplishment for Plainfield. And, we like to have an argument with all those Hendricks County people about the county and Adams County and Hendricks County and all those types of things. But it's really cool to see what you guys have accomplished, and we look forward to seeing you down at Franklin. WZBD will be there for 1A and 3A.
Well, again, I appreciate you guys actually considering us, and we're looking forward to it too. I know my guys are. So thank you again.
Thanks, Coach.
Well, with that, we've reached the end of that segment. And so if we can have our engineer play us around the commercials, back with more teams selected here for the Team State Duels.
If you're serious about taking your wrestling to the next level, then Warrior RTC Wrestling Club is the place to be. Every Sunday at 4:30 and Wednesday at 6, boys and girls from different elementary, middle, and high schools come together to build skills, confidence, and lifelong friendships. With high-level experienced coaches and a positive training atmosphere, every Warrior learns to work hard and have fun doing it. Whether you're chasing your first medal or your next state title, Warrior RTC will help you in your relentless pursuit of self-improvement. Visit online at warriorrtc.com to learn more about the year-round wrestling opportunities and train like a champion.
Ho, ho, ho. 'Twas the season for giving, and throughout the community, neighbors shopped local with remarkable unity. They found clothes and toys that make children glad, sparkling jewelry for mom, electronics for dad. Why, everything you need to spread holiday cheer is all readily available right now and right here. This reminder to shop local for all your heart yearns comes with Merry Christmas wishes from First Bank of Bird.
When faced with the difficult task of making arrangements for your loved one, many emotions and questions arise. What would they want me to do if they were here? Where is the money coming from? How much should I spend? Do they want burial or cremation? The staff at Haggard, Hershey, and Zelt Funeral Home can help you navigate these tough questions. Make your wishes known and allow us to make sure that your wishes are carried out. Call Ryan Hershey or Eric Zelt at 260-724-7167 to schedule an appointment today.
Shop local. It's a phrase we hear all the time, but for the staff and family at Package Liquors, it means something extra. Package, with locations in Decatur, Monroe, Berne, and Markle, is a local family-owned business that has been serving local communities for decades. We take your support and patronage and return it by supporting local athletes on WZBD and donating to different organizations across Adams County. The next time you're deciding where to shop, shop local. Shop at Package. It's where your friends shop.
Welcome back
If
once
you're
again to
serious
the
about
Double Eagle
taking your
House Grill as we reach our next segment. And Dane, we're now into second period B, I believe.
Something like that. Second period A. I don't know. I think I called them both second period A.
Yeah, okay.
We got a lot more segments. We're going to need some blood time in there at some point to be able to get to this. But it's a lot of fun. And obviously, we're calling in the last two teams. And we're going to announce one of the 3A teams here. And it's a team that we actually have already broadcast here on WZBD. And that is the Munster Mustangs. They're in. I talked to Coach Zach Slosser earlier today, and I was able to share with him that they had been invited. It's the first ever invite for Munster into the Team State tournament. They had a great Goshen Red Hawk Super Duel. They wrestled Belmont well. We had that match on WZBD over Thanksgiving. They lose to Belmont 46-21. They beat Chesterton, who was also in consideration. Picked up a really solid win against South Bend Riley, 58-21. South Bend Riley's had some really good duels against some teams in contention in 3A and in 2A. So their only losses this year are actually to three of the top 4 or 5 teams in 2A. They've lost to Belmont, they've lost to New Prairie, and they've lost to Hanover Central. And we'll be talking about the strength of those teams in 2A later on in the show. They'll be at Mooresville after Christmas, and Coach Slosser was really, really excited about the opportunity to compete in the 3A tournament. So congrats to them.
Well, Joe, you know that people are watching because you accidentally put them up and somebody said, hey, they accidentally showed who made it in.
Yeah,
so
that's good.
He took it up. Now they put our ugly faces up here instead. So
that's okay. So we're ready to invite the very last team into 3A, not necessarily by vote total, but just for drama's sake, for the sake of the show, and that's Coach Zach Johansson here from Hobart. So let's see what the Bricky has to say.
Hello.
Hey, this is Rex Brewer and Dane Filling with the High School Wrestling Weekly. Were you expecting a call from us tonight?
Absolutely.
Well, you just got it.
Let's go. We're excited.
Yeah, Coach, I know that you guys have had kind of an up and down start to the season, but you always felt like you were one of the top 12 teams in 3A. Now you've got validation in that, and you got to get your team ready for the Al Smith and for January 10th.
Yeah, we're excited. We're always looking for opportunities to get better, and this is, 3A team state wouldn't be the same without Hobart. This is our 6th year, and we're excited.
Yeah, obviously last year you guys come in and knock off the number 1 seed in Lowell and finish 2nd. And the year before that, you finished 10th, and you guys have always come ready to go. And I think that just sort of speaks to the parity that exists across the state of schools your size in 3A.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely, like with schools our size, and then our conference as well. Our conference with Lowell, Munster, us, and Hanover. There's four of those teams in team state. So our conference is really tough this year, and it's pretty awesome to see. And it's looking like the region is picking up and getting more teams in team state, and we're excited to see that. And
now
we're just happy to go get better competition, get better.
One thing that definitely can't be held against you is your strength of schedule, as it's always been. You've wrestled in some of the toughest area tournaments in the first couple of weekends, from the Harvest Classic at Lake Central. You were talking about Lowell earlier, obviously being in your conference, competing at Calumet and the Trakoff, and you take a couple of losses in some of those tournaments, but I think you learned something about yourself and your lineup and how you're going to attack January 10th.
Yeah, absolutely. We talk to our guys a lot about, we have 6 guys on our team that do their job every time. And we have 8 guys that need to do their job more of the time, So I think come team state, we learned that. And last year we proved that and built a culture of, hey, this is a new day, and this is a new tournament. We're going to get after it. We're going to be full effort every single day.
Now, I'm looking at your schedule. You have a duel scheduled against Penn here before the Al Smith. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's December 30th, and it's an early duel. We start at 4 p.m.
Well, that'll be a good one to get you warmed up for the Al Smith. And then obviously you guys are longtime participants in that tournament. WZBD will be there calling the second day of action. And we look forward to seeing the Brickies sitting directly to the left of the Belmont Faithful there at the old gym. And we wish you the best of luck there at Mishawaka. And then Rex will be seeing you at Franklin on January 10th.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Once again, congratulations to the Hobart Brickies for their inclusion in this year's Team State Tournament in 3A, which will be held at Franklin Community High School on January 10th. We'll send it back for another round of messages. We'll start talking about 2A right after this.
Based out of the Indiana Tech Wrestling Facility, the Warrior Regional Training Center is an elite training center for youth wrestlers, high school wrestlers, and college and senior level athletes. Featuring a college coaching staff with a strong history of developing talent and producing results, Warrior RTC will give any wrestler quality training partners to push them to new levels in the state-of-the-art 25,000 square foot wrestling building. The training is affordable and private training is also available. Put Warrior RTC in your corner this season.
Renowned around the Midwest for his skills and his creative abilities, Nate Bowers and the team at Bowers Paint Studio in Decatur work with a wide range of clients, from collision repair to custom paint jobs for classic cars and motorcycles. Located on Monroe Street on the west side of Decatur, Bowers is your place for body work too, whether it's getting your ride back on the road or finally getting that classic car, the paint job you've always wanted. Stop by or give Nate a call to put the best in the business to work for you.
Locally owned and operated by Shane Reynolds and family, DDD Maintenance and Repair is your place to go for heavy-duty truck and diesel engine repair. Located just outside of Monroe, DDD Maintenance and Repair also offers sand and glass blasting for all of your surface restoration projects. Whether you're looking to get your truck or diesel engine to run like new or your metal restoration project to look like new, we have a blast renewing the past. Give Shane and the guys a call at 223-5442. That's DDD Maintenance and Repair.
You hear it all the time. Do you have the right insurance coverage? But are you really taking that question seriously? Josh Book may be stationed in his home office in Noble County, but he's ready to serve you if you're listening to this broadcast, no matter what county you're in, and help you get the best insurance for your farm, business, or home. A proud insurance agent with Farm Bureau Insurance, Josh is ready to have a conversation with you about the rates you're paying and the coverage you're getting. Give him a call and have that important conversation with an experienced Farm Bureau agent today. Find out more at infarmbureau.com.
Welcome back once again to the Double Eagle Clubhouse Grill. Rex Burr along with Dane Filling. And Dane, we are just cruising right along through this program tonight here. Now
we're trying to stay on pace, Rex. Trying to stay on pace. So in 2A, we move forward now. And in alphabetical order, according to the IHSAA, already in the 8 teams competing are Belmont, Delta, Garrett, Gibson Southern, Hanover Central, Bishop Chatard, New Prairie, and Yorktown. So 4 more spots to go. And what I find interesting, Rex, is as I look at the Indiana MAT rankings that I put out on Monday, I think you have a clear top 4. You could argue all 4 of them, I think, to be 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 in Garrett, Hanover Central, Belmont, and New Prairie. Garrett, Hanover Central, Belmont, all undefeated on the year when it comes to dual meets. New Prairie has some losses to some 4A teams, but also some really good wins over some 3A teams. And then if you look at the rest of the top 10, there's only 1 team in the top 10 after that is already in. And so there was a ton of competitions of teams who I think really have a good shot at finishing 3rd or 4th or 5th or 6th. Whether or not they have the firepower to compete with those top 4, obviously yet to be seen, but a really exciting group of teams who have definitely competed and shown their strength. And there were some teams who, talking to the committee members earlier this morning when they were voting, there were some teams who several weeks ago, I think, had already made a big impression on some of those coaches and said, oh, wow, like that's a team that should be competing at 2A team state with some of the other teams. So
now, did the voting cut into your church time this morning?
It did not. I got Bible study in and I got my vote in, so I'm good to go.
Okay.
So we're going to call our first coach here to invite. No particular order, just the way they fell here.
Hello.
This is Rex Brewer and Dane Filling with the High School Wrestling Weekly. Who am I speaking to, please?
Hey, this is Coach Peak at Heron Chills.
I tell you what, I've asked every one of these guys, did you expect a phone call tonight? And most of them say they did. Did you expect this phone call tonight?
Yes, sir. We've been up there the past couple of years at 2A Team State, and our hope was to start the year off strong and get voted in this year.
So we've talked to a lot of coaches actually from Noblesville to 3 out of the 4 3A teams who have been invited so far in our show tonight, and all of them are new. And so you approach this tournament this year a little bit different because Heritage Hills has a pretty decent history in 2A Team State. How does that affect how you talk to your boys about the tournament, about qualifying, about what needed done to get this phone call tonight?
Yeah, so first of all, we got a good core group of seniors. They've been up there every year in high school, so they've helped spread the message as well as I have. And, you know, with being there before, we know what to expect, and we know it's going to be a battle, and we can't wait for competition. That's what we seek out all the time in our schedule, so we're excited.
Now, obviously, last year you guys come in, I believe you beat Yorktown at Jay County and finished 6th, and you were 6th the year before that. And so, you know, obviously that strong record shows that you're certainly a threat to finish 6th or better this year.
Yeah, so it's been 6 back-to-back years. Of course, we would love to crack that top 5, but our goal is just to get up there and compete and take it round by round. Everybody knows that health is a big thing, and each round is tough when you're up there.
Now, I've been busy trying to keep everybody's results and scores up on Indiana Mat. And one thing that I've noticed with Heritage Hills is you've gotten a lot of matches so far this year against teams who are either in at 1A or 2A or 3A or are under consideration. And that's obviously had to have helped your team get ready for Team State on January 10th.
Yeah, absolutely. So we started off that first weekend. First round, we had Mount Vernon Posey. Then we had a tough duel against Floyd. And then a lot of our conference and sectional opponents are right on that bubble of either getting in or probably just out of team state. So we're happy with our schedule so far, and we got a lot under our belt.
Yeah, so talk to us a little bit that you may have the most matches wrestled amongst anybody in the state. Your dual record's 27-1. What does the rest of the season look like for you, and how do you approach that as a coach, kind of being top heavy, I guess, on the early side of the season when it comes to matches wrestled?
Yeah, so oddly enough for us, we always make a deep run in football, or traditionally we have. So we got about a week to prepare, so we just hit the ground running. We try to get as much as we can in December. January, we have a few less duels. We'll go up to Connersville, get an individual tournament. Picking up team state, of course, helps, and then we kind of slow down a little bit, and we ride into our conference sectional and then try to go on that postseason run for our individuals.
Well, Coach, congratulations, and we look forward to seeing what Heritage Hills can do. And we'll have the brackets for you on Monday, January 5th, and we'll see you at Brownsburg for the 2A team state.
All right, appreciate it.
Once again, that was Coach Noah Peak from Heritage Hills, and we also want to congratulate Coach Steve Spicer at Owen Valley. They returned to 2A team state, another one of the teams invited this year, and Owen Valley, another team from down south with a good start to the season. It's one of those things, and maybe you guys don't think about it as much as I do because it's kind of my job, I guess. But like once teams start declaring for like consideration, then all of a sudden a win against that team means something. And whether or not that 3A team ends up making it in or not, you are kind of swayed in a lot of ways early on by a 2A team beating a 3A team. Well, this team says that they're good enough to go to 3A team state or 4A team state, and then the 1A team or the 2A team picks them off, and it's kind of a feather in their cap. I know a lot of people like to say that rankings don't mean anything, but in that essence, it kind of does, because it is kind of making a statement that, hey, we think that we're there, and if we get beat by somebody else, then we'll pass the torch on to them, and they can carry it as far as they can go.
I had an interview with a coach that's in the bidding for 1A right now, and on Saturday, and he said, you can sit home and do nothing and not get in, or you can go out and wrestle a tougher schedule. You may win, you may not win, but I tell you what, a quality loss is better than a nothing win.
Yeah, and there's a lot of instances, I think, in these 2A and 3A teams, once again, of going up against some of the top 4A and 3A teams. And even though you lose, when you score 24, 30, 35 points against somebody who's an established 4A or 3A team, that says something. That means something to me. And there is a division between the classes right now, and a win by a 1A team over a team who's going to 2A team state absolutely means something. Yep. And the classes are, I think that speaks to the way that the classes are split up right now.
So with that, let's send it off for another round of commercials, and we're back with another group of coaches to call here in 2A.
The staff at Haggard, Hershey, and Zelt Funeral Home is honored to serve the community we love and live in. Locally owned and operated by Ryan Hershey and Eric Zelt, we understand that each family we serve and each life lived tells a unique story. Our goal is to offer comfort, care, and dignity to all who entrust their loved ones to our care. We are proud to call Adams County our home and look forward to serving you for generations to come.
Shop local. It's a phrase we hear all the time, but for the staff and family at Package Liquors, it means something extra. Package, with locations in Decatur, Monroe, Berne, and Markle, is a local family-owned business that has been serving local communities for decades. We take your support and patronage and return it by supporting local athletes on WZBD and donating to different organizations across Adams County. The next time you're deciding where to shop, shop local. Shop at Package. It's where your friends shop.
Based out of the Indiana Tech Wrestling Facility, the Warrior Regional Training Center is an elite training center for youth wrestlers, high school wrestlers, and college and senior level athletes. Featuring a college coaching staff with a strong history of developing talent and producing results, Warrior RTC will give any wrestler quality training partners to push them to new levels in the state-of-the-art 25,000 square foot wrestling building. The training is affordable and private training is also available. Put Warrior RTC in your corner this season.
Renowned around the Midwest for his skills and his creative abilities, Nate Bowers and the team at Bowers Paint Studio in Decatur work with a wide range of clients, from collision repair to custom paint jobs for classic cars and motorcycles. Located on Monroe Street on the west side of Decatur, Bowers is your place for body work too, whether it's getting your ride back on the road or finally getting that classic car, the paint job you've always wanted. Stop by or give Nate a call to put the best in the business to work for you.
Welcome back once again to the Double Eagle Clubhouse Grill. Rex Burlong, Dane Filling, and Joe Caprino doing our engineering tonight. And I tell you what, Dane, I was worried, but it's just going smooth as silk right now.
He's doing a great job, and we certainly appreciate all that Joe does for us on WZBD and WZBD.com, and always looking for ways to collaborate. And despite what some people may think, the pay for this job, not very illustrious. Whether it's serving on the Coaches Association Team State Committee or the seating committee or on the production crew for High School Wrestling Weekly, not exactly the most illustrious job.
You're speaking to the choir here right now.
We sure appreciate it. I had a good conversation with somebody a few weeks ago about a wrestling tournament, and I said, "You guys get paid to do this?" I didn't realize that other people get paid to go to wrestling tournaments. That's okay. Well, we've got two more teams to talk to, and we'll give a call now. Yep. Rex is dialing them up right now. A first-year head coach.
Hello. Good evening, Rex Brewer and Dane Filling with the High School Wrestling Weekly. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with here?
This is Tyler Linhart, head coach at Jay County.
Tyler, I saw you this past weekend at the ACAC, 2 weeks ago at the ACAC duels, and I saw your team wrestle, and I tell you what, as a first-year coach, you had some big shoes to step into, but I think you and your staff have done a great job to pick that team up and run with it, and congratulations on getting voted into the team state.
Thank you very much. We got a lot of people here in Jay County that are just excited as I am.
Now, obviously, it's a little bit different story for you guys because you've been hosting for the last few years and even not participating in one or two of them, but now you guys get to go on the road. How have you used Team State to sort of motivate your guys in the first year as head coach, and what does this road trip look like for you?
With last year with not getting in, it kind of bummed the guys out a little bit, but we just kind of been using that as fuel to our fire to kind of motivate us to get us back in. We got a heck of a hard-working team, and they do about anything we ask, and nobody complains, and they kind of have that they love hard work mentality, so I think that's kind of helped us out tremendously leading up to this.
So, Coach, at the ACAC duels, I was watching a match, and I talked to Coach Ben Sprunger from Bluffton. He told me, my team's not very good. We're not going to win any matches today. And the tournament ran long because there was a dogfight between the Patriots and the Tigers, and that match come down to the battle. What do you think about some of the matches in that particular dual meet there?
I mean, Bluffton's one of those teams that are even when I wrestled and when being here for 5 years now, like they're always a team that's wants to go out there and kind of rip your face off. So like we got to be ready for that, and they are ready for us too. And those kind of duels are just super exciting to be a part of, and I feel like it makes both of our teams a heck of a lot better moving forward.
Dane Filling here. You guys are wrestling on Tuesday, is that correct, for the ECIC?
Correct. Yep, we're hosting ECIC.
And then will you see any other action between then and January 10th?
Well, we were going to be at the Battle of the Bear Den on January 3rd, but now that we're going into Team State, we're going to be sending our JV to that. But other than that, I don't believe so. So we have a decent break to kind of get prepared for that and be ready to go.
Now, obviously, you guys have wrestled some pretty decent teams who are in consideration for 1A and 2A. How do you use sort of getting invited and the opportunity to wrestle in some really important duels as motivation for some of your backups and your JV guys?
We tell our guys every dual meet, it doesn't matter if you're the varsity guy or not. If your weight's coming up, you need to be getting ready to wrestle, because I know quite a few times this year we've kind of bumped guys around, and bump guys out, bump guys up, and making sure they're always ready. Everybody's warming up and everybody's ready to go. And I think that's kind of helped us out with some of those key matchups as well.
Now, obviously, under Coach Myers, you guys were third a couple years ago. You were runners-up, I remember, at Martinsville. How has sort of that experience shaped your attitude towards trying to qualify for Team State this year?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Myers was he was my coach when I was in high school too. And out of all the coaches I've had in elementary, junior high, high school, college, he's probably one of the best coaches that I've ever had. So it was a real big honor past 4 years to learn under him and kind of get some of his wisdom and put it into our team. And he's a heck of a guy, and our program's very, very successful now because of him. So we definitely really appreciate him.
Well, Coach, congratulations on a huge accomplishment as a first-year head coach, and we look forward to following the Patriots at Brownsburg in 2A.
All right, thank you very much.
Once again, that was coach of the Jay County Patriots, and we're going to make our last call here to 2A.
And there it is.
To invite a team that once competed for the IHSAA Team State Championship back in my era.
Back up to the 219, Joe.
Hello.
This is Rex Brewer and Dane Filling with the High School Wrestling Weekly. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
This is Coach Soko with the Griffith Panthers.
The Griffith Panthers. Coach Soko, I ask every coach, did you expect this call tonight, or are you surprised as everybody?
No, we were expecting this call. We have been for a while.
Well, obviously, you guys have had a great start to the season with some really good dual meets. Tell us, at what point in the season did you really think that this might actually happen?
Well, we started off our season pretty hot with going to the Harvest Classic. Lots of great teams there, lots of great competition. We performed well right out of the gate, and we had a feeling there that our dual team format for this team was in the right place at the right time. We were looking forward to going to the Chittard duels, where it was Owen Valley and Chittard and Purdue Poly and Swiss County and lots of really good teams in those divisions that we wanted to meet up with. Unfortunately, it got canceled, and the Tri-Cup, it fell into our laps, and we were a last-minute ad, and we thank them for getting us in there, and we went and performed very well at a very tough tournament, and that's when we kind of felt that things were really going the right way.
And that's one of those deals, too, where some coaches would be scared to take that jump. Obviously, you guys go in there. I think you actually had a losing record on the day, but you had to have walked out of there thinking, yeah, we can compete with these teams.
Well, you lose tight ones with the Hobart and the Lake Central. You're feeling good about yourself. You can look back on those as well-fought efforts on your whole team. Guys are learning how to play their parts better. They know their roles a little bit better after a duel like that.
Now, talk to us a little bit about yesterday in your duel with New Prairie. New Prairie, one of the very best teams in 2A. What is that experience going to do in terms of motivating your guys for January 10th?
Well, they put that on the radar every year that we go to Munster. And so one of the reasons we go there, Munster puts on a great little duel there. And New Prairie is one of the reasons that we kind of chase those teams. The duel was back and forth. We had a couple matches that should have went our way that didn't finish. We had them in hand. But for the most part, we battled, which is what we've been telling the kids we need to be ready to do. And I think now with going through that and the Munster duel and a few other things, we're ready to go and ready to go down and compete at Team State.
Well, Coach, congratulations, and we look forward to see how you guys do at Brownsburg on January 10th.
Well, thank you so much, and we look forward to the opportunity to represent Griffith and the community.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
With that, let's send it for another round of commercials and come back as we get back to 1A for the
Shop Local. It's a phrase we hear all the time, but for the staff and family at Package Liquors, it means something extra. Package, with locations in Decatur, Monroe, Berne, and Markle, is a local family-owned business that has been serving local communities for decades. We take your support and patronage and return it by supporting local athletes on WZBD and donating to different organizations across Adams County. The next time you're deciding where to shop, shop local. Shop at Package. It's where your friends shop.
Based out of the Indiana Tech Wrestling Facility, the Warrior Regional Training Center is an elite training center for youth wrestlers, high school wrestlers, and college and senior level athletes. Featuring a college coaching staff with a strong history of developing talent and producing results, Warrior RTC will give any wrestler quality training partners to push them to new levels in the state-of-the-art 25,000 square foot wrestling building. The training is affordable and private training is also available. Put Warrior RTC in your corner this season.
Renowned around the Midwest for his skills and his creative abilities, Nate Bowers and the team at Bowers Paint Studio in Decatur work with a wide range of clients, from collision repair to custom paint jobs for classic cars and motorcycles. Located on Monroe Street on the west side of Decatur, Bowers is your place for body work too, whether it's getting your ride back on the road or finally getting that classic car, the paint job you've always wanted. Stop by or give Nate a call to put the best in the business to work for you.
Locally owned and operated by Shane Reynolds and family, DDD Maintenance and Repair is your place to go for heavy-duty truck and diesel engine repair. Located just outside of Monroe, DDD Maintenance and Repair also offers sand and glass blasting for all of your surface restoration projects. Whether you're looking to get your truck or diesel engine to run like new, or your metal restoration project to look like new, we have a blast renewing the past. Give Shane and the guys a call at 223-5442. That's DDD Maintenance and Repair.
Welcome back once again to the Double Eagle Clubhouse Grill as we've made our way to the 1A final team reveals. And go ahead and tell us who is already in, Dane.
Well, just like the other classes, we started out with 8. We had Tell City, former champions, bow out in the last 2 weeks. And so that actually gets us down to 7, which gives us 5 teams to invite tonight. In the tournament already are Adams Central and Alexandria, East Side and Milan, North Miami, Rensselaer Central, and South Adams. And then the 5 teams that we call on tonight. Now, one team that we are not technically going to call, but the first team who we're going to name are the Zebras of Rochester and Coach Tristan Wilson. Last year, they were 8th, but the year before that, they were 1A champions. And they're a team that's wrestled a really, really good schedule. They've wrestled some of the top teams in both 1A and 2A, a couple of teams in the top 20 overall, and shown that they can hang with those. They have a win over Northfield 63-15, another team in consideration, a win over Rensselaer Central, and then some close losses to big powerhouses like Portage and Fishers, and just a really impressive resume overall. Talked to Coach Wilson earlier today. Thanks to Joe hooking me up there, and they were really excited, and he just mentioned that he really feels like Rochester is one of those teams, one of those programs that really belongs in the 1A team state, and they look forward to competing every year. So we have another team to talk to tonight.
I'll go ahead and dial this one up right now.
Oh, you got the wrong one, Rex.
Hang
That's
on.
okay. You're off.
Oh,
a
I'm
second.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Now he'll probably get fired up and call you back.
Well, no, that's a different. No, that's which one you did.
No, go up one. Go up one. Well, just call him. Just answer. It's fine.
Hey, this is Rex Brewer of the High School Wrestling Weekly. Who am I speaking with, please?
This is Coach Ed Shennefield from Northfield High School.
I tell you what, Coach, I've talked to you recently, haven't I?
Yes, you have.
And we had a good conversation about what it takes to get into Team A, Team 1A, and it's setting up your schedule and wrestling the right people. And you took on a quality Adams Central team Saturday, and you didn't get the win, but I tell you what, I think it made enough of a statement to get a phone call tonight.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Well, obviously, you guys had a good showing last year, I thought, and we learned a lot about you. We had some fun getting to know one of your female wrestlers the last couple of years, and we saw you guys at Adams Central last year in 1A. And tell us how last year's experience sort of sets you up for this year and the motivation to get back in.
Just the motivation was to make our schedule harder. As you see in our schedule, we had North Miami, we had Rochester, we had Adams Central, and we put those hard teams in front of us to get in there. We changed our schedule to go up to New Haven and do that Super 10 this weekend so we could get in front of and take on Adams Central, just make the hard decisions. And that female wrestler you're talking about sitting right next to me, so she heard that.
She is actually, I think she's assistant coach. She was on the mat showing somebody some moves the other night, and I think she's falling right into that assistant coach role pretty good.
That's absolutely. I've got my whole staff here. We're having a watch party for this, and thank you so much. It is an honor for such a small school. We only have 275 enrolled in our school, and 11% of that is on the wrestling team. So we've made Northfield a wrestling high school.
Well, Coach, I'm going to give you a shameless plug here. You had an accomplishment yesterday that probably didn't get publicized all that well. Why don't you tell us a little bit about you and Coach Gale and your accomplishment?
Coach Gale and our team earned us our 100th win as a dual team this last Saturday in a barn burner against Lakeland that we came down 42-42, and it went all the way down to ninth criteria, and we came out on top.
Those are sort of nail biters, nerve-wracking, but also really gratifying when you're the one who comes out on the right side of those old tiebreakers.
I've had one of those before in my career against Oak Hill last year, and we came out on the other side. So it was good to do that, and I'm looking at Greg right now. I can't think of a better way to get our 100th win together as coaches.
Well, obviously, you find out today that you're going to be competing again in the 1A team state. You've got last year's experience to go off of. What do you do between now and January 10th to get ready?
Train harder.
Do you have what do you have left on your schedule between now and then?
We have the Eastern Holiday Classic on the 29th and 30th of December, so we'll be wrestling 9 times then over 2 days. And we'll get through that and get ready for team state. We have one duel in between them, but we'll be ready to go.
Well, Coach, congratulations on getting back into 1A team state, and Rex will be there at Franklin, and we'll be excited to call your matches.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It really is an honor for a little school in Wabash County.
That was Coach Ed Shanefeld, and now I'll dial up the other one, Dane. I should have dialed up before, but we get them all in here.
That works. So obviously Rochester are in, Northfield are in, and we'll give Southmont a call right here if Rex's fingers get it right there.
I'll see if we can get this one right. Down up Crawfordsville, Indiana.
Maybe.
Hello.
Hey, this is Rex Dane filling with High School Wrestling Weekly. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
This is Coach Wellenberg from Southmont.
Tell you what, Coach, every team that we've called tonight, they have all expected this phone call. And let me guess, you expected this phone call tonight as well.
Well, we certainly did. You asked me a month ago, I wouldn't have been that confident. But as of today, yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit about how your season's gone so far and how you guys have garnered so much respect from everybody around the state with your performances.
First of all, it's an unusual team for me. We have no seniors on this team, but we have a heck of a freshman class that we've been looking forward to joining us. And anyhow, we started out the season at our Western Boone duels and had 5 good dual meets there. And you guys kind of recognized that maybe we were going to be okay. And that really motivated the kids that next week as we were preparing for to go up to Calumet to the Trikoff tournament. And we definitely performed very well up there.
Yeah, obviously huge wins over Hobart and New Prairie, a win over Lowell. And your only loss of the tournament was that the first round when you wrestled Portage?
Round 2.
Round 2.
We wrestled the whole lot first round, and then we lost to Portage second round.
And then you guys end up getting 5th place, if I remember right. And my phone was lighting up that afternoon/evening as news started to kind of trickle in. Everybody said, "Is Southmont for real?" And I'm looking at those results. I don't know how they couldn't be for real.
yeah, the kids really were just hyped up to go up there and very focused. And, with such a young team, I was anxious to see if they could just reload every round because it's such a tough tournament up there. Yeah, you don't get a break. And they certainly responded really well. We were hoping to see New Prairie and maybe Rochester face to face, and it turned out that we ended up seeing New Prairie, which was a 1-point dual mate, but we ended up on the right side of that. So that was definitely a good sign right there.
Now, Coach, how do you use your experience from the last couple of years at Team State to sort of prepare your boys and get ready to do your best on January 10th down at Franklin?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I think we only had 3 kids that have experienced it when they were freshmen. And honestly, that experience didn't go very well. So I don't think it really matters. These kids are working really hard, and they are really competing in the practice room. And that's where we're seeing the difference from, where we have been, which we've been in a good place, but definitely feel like we're at a different level this year.
Well, Coach, we want to give you congratulations and wish you the best of luck here over the holidays. And we'll see you at Franklin on January 10th.
We're excited to come. Thank you.
So there you go. Southmont, another team in for 1A. Rex, let's send it.
Let's just let Joe push the buttons. How's that?
Right. And then we'll be right back.
Shop local. It's a phrase we hear all the time, but for the staff and family at Package Liquors, it means something extra. Package, with locations in Decatur, Monroe, Berne, and Markle, is a local family-owned business that has been serving local communities for decades. We take your support and patronage and return it by supporting local athletes on WZBD and donating to different organizations across Adams County. The next time you're deciding where to shop, shop local. Shop at Package. It's where your friends shop.
Based out of the Indiana Tech Wrestling Facility, the Warrior Regional Training Center is an elite training center for youth wrestlers, high school wrestlers, and college and senior level athletes. Featuring a college coaching staff with a strong history of developing talent and producing results, Warrior RTC will give any wrestler quality training partners to push them to new levels in the state-of-the-art 25,000 square foot wrestling building. The training is affordable and private training is also available. Put Warrior RTC in your corner this season.
Renowned around the Midwest for his skills and his creative abilities, Nate Bowers and the team at Bowers Paint Studio in Decatur work with a wide range of clients, from collision repair to custom paint jobs for classic cars and motorcycles. Located on Monroe Street on the west side of Decatur, Bowers is your place for body work too, whether it's getting your ride back on the road or finally getting that classic car, the paint job you've always wanted. Stop by or give Nate a call to put the best in the business to work for you.
Locally owned and operated by Shane Reynolds and family, DDD Maintenance and Repair is your place to go for heavy-duty truck and diesel engine repair. Located just outside of Monroe, DDD Maintenance and Repair also offers sand and glass blasting for all of your surface restoration projects. Whether you're looking to get your truck or diesel engine to run like new, or your metal restoration project to look like new, we have a blast renewing the past. Give Shane and the guys a call at 223-5442. That's DDD Maintenance and Repair.
Welcome back once again to the Double Eagle Clubhouse Grill, where Dane, our crowd has stayed with us here pretty good tonight. We got some people out there still talking wrestling. Got a couple of the AC guys hanging out. I've seen a lot of you in the last couple of days, Mr. Beer. And there was a big crowd at of the Adams Central faithful at the Super 10 at New Haven, and they had a good showing there. We covered a couple of those matches, and they travel very well, that whole crowd. And there's going to be a lot of people in the Belmont Gym at the Teepee on Tuesday night.
Yep, it's going to be a fun duel. Make sure that you join us. We're going to try to put together a decent pre-match show, try to talk to some of those third-place guys who are back in town from out of state. We've had a lot of fun doing that last year with the runners-up, the year before that with the state champions, where we almost got state champion Mr. Schultz on a radio. We were this close.
I threatened him, and he said, "You can call me names all you want, but I ain't getting on there." And he walked away, and he's too big for me to do anything.
Yeah, probably. We did get Mongo on there. That was a lot of fun, and he'll be in attendance on.
Mongo's coming back.
On
when
Tuesday.
when you get first, second, and third, you got to go 3 years in a row.
Exactly. So make sure you check out the Belmont Wrestling Facebook page for lots of information on what's going on there. So to review, in 1A, we've already talked to the head coach at Southmont and at Northfield. we've also announced the addition of Rochester as a 1A team state team. We haven't talked about Madison Grant. Madison Grant's in. Jake Wilson is the head coach there, and they're a first-timer when it comes to 1A. That's a team that you and I have gotten familiar with because of football in the last couple of years.
The Argyles.
And if they're any as tough as they are on the football field on the wrestling mat, they're going to be good competition for 1A.
See, I'm not Nate Sprangles, but I know a lot of those mascots. We used to listen to Tony G. Tony G would tell us
He knew 'em
mascots.
all.
He would tell you mascots of schools that went out of business 40 years ago that nobody knows about.
So we have one last team to call and talk to, and they're the final team in here in our show tonight for the 2026 High School Wrestling Coaches Association Team State Tournament.
Don't go to voicemail. That's a bad deal. Our first one of the night, the last one.
We almost made it through.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
Here's a voicemail I'm going to leave.
7 6 5 4 9 0 3 7 4 3 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, this is Rex and Dane filming at the High School Wrestling Weekly. We were calling you to tell you got voted in, but you didn't answer the phone, so we're going to go to the next guy. Thanks. Well, let's see if he calls back.
We'll see if he calls back. The Rossville Hornets they've been an interesting team the last couple of years. They've had some absolute studs, some guys who have been state ranked and all that kind of thing. They've carried a couple of forfeits the last couple of years, but they've been able to overcome it. And that was one of the things that I wanted to talk to Coach Lynch about. His team competed in that really tough Shamrock duels at Westfield earlier in the month.
Let's give him another chance.
We'll see. I did prep this call, by the way. We're not blindly calling him.
I got the right number on there.
I guess I didn't check. Yeah, it says Lafayette.
Your call has been forwarded to an...
I should have told him this is calling about your car's extended warranty. I get that a lot.
It's the number I called. Well, anyways, the Rossville Hornets are in. They take advantage of the fact that Tell City has decided to drop out. They do carry a couple of forfeits the last time that I saw, but very worthy of being there and representing. Last year, what did I put in my notes here? Last year they were 9th. They lost to Eastside 40-39 in the very first round, and then come back and get 9th place at Adams Central.
Dane, that's the first time we've ever been ghosted on this show.
I think so.
The biggest night of everybody's life, and we got ghosted by a coach that, I don't know, maybe they're not coming.
No, they're coming. They just, I don't know. Maybe we had a cross-up of communications or time zones or something like that. Well, with that, then, let's go ahead and play our next round of commercials, and then we'll be back with Coach Mike Gable right after this.
The staff at Haggard, Hershey, and Zelt Funeral Home is honored to serve the community we love and live in. Locally owned and operated by Ryan Hershey and Eric Zelt, we understand that each family we serve and each life lived tells a unique story. Our goal is to offer comfort, care, and dignity to all who entrust their loved ones to our care. We are proud to call Adams County our home and look forward to serving you for generations to come.
Shop local. It's a phrase we hear all the time, but for the staff and family at Package Liquors, it means something extra. Package, with locations in Decatur, Monroe, Berne, and Markle, is a local family-owned business that has been serving local communities for decades. We take your support and patronage and return it by supporting local athletes on WZBD and donating to different organizations across Adams County. The next time you're deciding where to shop, shop local. Shop at Package. It's where your friends shop.
Based out of the Indiana Tech Wrestling Facility, the Warrior Regional Training Center is an elite training center for youth wrestlers, high school wrestlers, and college and senior level athletes. Featuring a college coaching staff with a strong history of developing talent and producing results, Warrior RTC will give any wrestler quality training partners to push them to new levels in the state-of-the-art 25,000 square foot wrestling building. The training is affordable and private training is also available. Put Warrior RTC in your corner this season.
Renowned around the Midwest for his skills and his creative abilities, Nate Bowers and the team at Bowers Paint Studio in Decatur work with a wide range of clients, from collision repair to custom paint jobs for classic cars and motorcycles. Located on Monroe Street on the west side of Decatur, Bowers is your place for body work too, whether it's getting your ride back on the road or finally getting that classic car, the paint job you've always wanted. Stop by or give Nate a call to put the best in the business to work for you.
Welcome back once again to the Double Eagle Clubhouse Grill, where tonight's special was wings, as always on Sunday night, and special burger was a PB&J peanut butter and jalapeno jelly burger. And we saw a lot of people eating that out there, and always good food at the Double Eagle. And guess who's calling me, Dane? Let's take this call.
Let's take it.
You are so lucky that I hadn't called Coach Mike Gable from Mater Dei, or you might not have got answered. Is this Thomas Lynch?
It is, yes.
You were the first coach that ever ghosted us on this selection show. You should.
I didn't ghost you. I didn't get the call.
Well, I called twice and left you voicemail. When you get that voicemail, you're gonna be shocked. So,
Rex is just giving you a hard time, Coach. Congratulations on getting into 1A Team State.
Oh, I'm so excited. Awesome experience. Team State was so fun last year. We can't wait for this year.
Now, we were talking earlier about the really close loss that you guys had in the first round. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how that duel went and how you kind of motivated your boys to come back and get 9th place?
At which tournament?
At Team State last year.
Yeah, Team State last year, we lost by 1 point going into it. East Side had a really, really good team, and they were ready for us. So, this year we got cannons. We got good guys. We're ready to get after it, and can't wait to experience the Team State all over again.
Now, I know you've been talking to me, and you've been posting a couple different places about trying to get your lineup to the point that you want it. You carried some forfeits, I think, earlier in the year. What kind of lineup do you hope to have out on January 10th?
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Like I said, we got really good guys. We have at 132. We'll see. I mean, Donovan Story was a regional qualifier for us, and we'll see what happens. We'll beat up a little bit at 132, but we can move some guys around and see what happens for sure.
And that's the beauty in 1A, right, is that when you do have that flexibility, you can take some of your hammers, and every team there has roughly the same amount of guys who are hoping to make it to semi-state and state, and then you got a bunch of other guys who are just there to try to help you win duels, and it allows you a lot more flexibility, whereas you're talking about those 4A teams, they've basically got their lineup set, and there's not a whole lot of bumping that goes on.
Yeah, that's the fun part to me. I mean, those guys are at the big schools, their lineups are pretty well set, and for us, we can move around probably 132 to 190. I mean, we can bump some guys around, so we'll see what happens.
Well, Coach, we appreciate the call back, and we don't want to let Rex give you too hard of a time. Congratulations. Celebrate it with your boys and let it motivate them to train harder here in the coming weeks.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. We're ready. I mean, anything can happen at 1A, so we appreciate the nomination, and we're looking forward to battling.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep, for sure.
Now let's call our other Hall of Famer on the dais tonight. Oh, you're gonna have to give me that.
I'm gonna have to give you those numbers again.
Yeah, starts with that.
Oh, I had it lined up for you. Now I have to come back and get it myself.
Well, I thought you would have had it on the
Yeah, well,
script.
I probably failed at that. So we talked to Coach BJ Farrow at the beginning of the show about the IHSAA single class team state tournament, and we thought that we'd close out our show tonight by
Hello, you reached Mike Gable.
Oh.
Please leave a message. Thank you.
Now I tell you what.
Hey, Mike, this is Rex. Give me a call back.
Well, I tell you,
twice in a row.
This would never happen on Guerrilla Radio.
Because you don't allow phone calls. You don't allow phone calls. Let's try him again. See what he gets off the phone.
Well, he did say he'd have.
Hello, you reached Mike Gable.
Nope.
He's got a nice voicemail though. Well, I'll text him and we can talk. Do we want to bring Joe in here? That might be a route to go.
Yeah, I'll just hand him a headset over here.
Hand him a headset there. He's been doing all the hard work. We've just been sitting here talking. So, Joe, obviously you've been to, I would assume, every single team state tournament that the Coaches Association has put on. How has this event grown from the very first few years, and what's your take on it in 2026?
Well, it grew from being at Westfield and really packed in 3 classes with 8 teams each, and now we have, 42 teams?
That sounds right.
Something like that. There's a lot of teams coming in, more classes, and it's grown, and the sport that the coaches give to the event and how much stock they put into it for their kids is great, and it keeps everyone interested in it. I think it's helped the small schools stay relevant and keep kids out that aren't always going to be state qualifiers or even regional qualifiers. Those kids can make a big impact in a big duel. I know there was a couple years ago, 1A duel came down to 2 kids that had very losing records, and that's what it came down to. That ended up being the last match, and the crowd was going crazy. Do miss kind of everything in one venue like the Coliseum. So hopefully they can start working towards that. I think two venues now is going to be a little bit easier to follow. I know I'll probably be at 4A, so then I'll be able to sneak over and watch some 2A wrestling, which I'll be good to see. You'll be able to see multiple matches, and if I see something else coming up on 2A, I can run down there and watch one of those matches, or depending on exactly how far away that the new Snyder Dome is from the main area. So it's going to be pretty neat. I'm excited for this year. It's a lot of good field in all the classes, and I think all the classes are going to be very competitive, and dual meets are fun to watch.
And we have to reiterate, what it takes for these teams, these schools to step up and host not one tournament but 2 tournaments in one, and it's a big undertaking, and those schools that step up and do it, they have to be applauded.
Yeah, I don't like hosting events. I hosted enough at Carroll that getting mats ready, getting table workers, there's a lot of work that goes on, and a lot of that's put onto the coaches, and it takes away from preparing your kids for a big meet. So I'm, Brownsburg and Franklin, they obviously are taking on the challenge. Franklin likes to host things. I think Tante just pushes that on to Mike Morgan, but
whatever works, right?
That's why you call him the professor, right? He's got all the answers.
Yes, Tante's good at delegating, so he just shows up for showtime. He's just like
we're not going to badmouth him on this show because Rex needs all the help that he can get at Franklin when they host. So.
I need a big spot there.
Well, maybe he'll have a suit for you.
No,
that would be a lot of fun.
Him and I might wear the same size, but
not the same fashion style. Huh?
Yes, but
well, we are certainly excited about the opportunity to cover it. We have great support here at home to be able to even contemplate the idea of running 2 separate day-long broadcasts from 2 different sites, while also trying to run regular programming back here at home and get ready for an ACAC basketball tournament and what could be an absolutely blockbuster girls basketball game that night. You and I won't be back for it, but Belmont plays Norwell that night in girls basketball. That's a huge one. It's all because of the sponsors that we have that allow us, you've heard it throughout the show tonight, that get to send us to places like Mishawaka and to Lafayette and to Franklin and to Brownsburg and everywhere else in between. It doesn't happen. We're really excited about our girls coverage. If you're interested in supporting that, please reach out, because we would really like to be able to provide the best coverage that we can of that Muncie Central sectional and regional. We want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor that you heard about earlier. That's KidZonePartyRentals.com from Indianapolis. We're going to have that sort of Hamilton County, Marion County, and east all the way up to Jay County for the regional and for the state finals. And we'll be broadcasting the entire state finals on YouTube. So we're really, really excited about that. And yeah, we got a lot going on here on WZBD when it comes to high school wrestling over the next 4 weeks.
So you need to get home and tell Gustav that get Dad one of these cables like this.
We're probably going to have to
get you a little dongle in here, and then you and I can actually call each other and put each other on the broadcast.
Boy, I don't
back
know.
and forth from two different locations.
Isn't
We
that
can
like-
do it.
Isn't that like
we can do it.
Ghostbusters crossing the streams or something
No,
like that?
we're good. We could do it. We can do it.
Well,
you want to call Coach Gable one more time?
I don't think he's going to answer, Rex.
Well, guess what? We're going to give him one more chance, and we'll tell him third time's the charm.
Hello, you reached Mike Gable.
I tell you what, he was all fired up to come on the show too. He might have forgotten.
Maybe past his bedtime. It is 8:25.
No, it's 7:25 his time.
There you
So he probably thought he was gonna.
Well,
You probably said 8:30.
I probably did,
And
I
he
forget it.
didn't.
You know, I only been to Evansville one time. It deserves
'Cause we
a break.
had to.
Now those region guys, I tell them all the time, Eastern time, Eastern time, Eastern time. That was probably it.
You know, Yee Daddy always tells me that when he was growing up, they lived in one time zone and school was in the other time zone, and he always said, "Is it school time or house time?" And they had to keep track of school time and house time.
Well, what do you think about the Fighting E-Daddies there in 2A? That's going to be a really competitive set of teams. We talked earlier about sort of the separation, I feel like, in the top four when it comes to 2A. I don't know. That's a really competitive bracket when it comes out in January.
Yeah, this good 2A is going to be a lot about matchups. I think all the top 4 or 5 teams all have some holes, some weaker spots, but then they have some really good, solid kids, and they all have probably about 8 to 10, 8 to 12 really solid kids, and then they have a few holes. So it's going to be interesting how it plays out, how the seeding goes. I think if you seed it differently, there could be 2 different finalists. It just depends on matchups and who comes to wrestle, also comes down to who has some movable parts in their lineup. One of the cool things about 1A and 2A is movable parts and teams that can shift guys up and down if they have a pretty solid backup, or some kid that's a backup that just you cannot pin to save your life, and that's huge for those teams to be able to have a guy that they can insert and bump up 2 or 3 guys to cover a spot. And you know, it's always fun to see the strategy in those divisions, and it was always fun as a coach to try to figure out a way to beat a team that, you know, you're looking at an 8-6, trying to get it to 7-7 to give your team a chance. It's always it's a fun strategy to have.
Now, Joe, Dane and I talked a bit before the show. In that 2A, there's 4 teams that have probably going to separate themselves, and there's a little bit of a gap between 5, 6, 7 on down. But those top 4 teams, they're solid, and there's going to be some semifinal matches that are really going to be some duels.
Yeah, there's going to be some great matches there, and it's going to create a lot of really good individual matches. So that's going to be fun. I think I'm glad I'm going to be able to watch some of the 2A action, and I'll probably be down there for the semis to see how things match up.
Sounds like an offer to be color commentator for a round.
There you
if
go.
If I'm not mistaken, there for WZBD.
Well, that headset fits in.
Quick question for you: the Indiana Mat schedule shows that Garrett is wrestling Brownsburg on Tuesday night. Is that correct?
That is correct.
That is a head-to-head duel.
Yes. Somebody had a.
Did you have your hand in that? Is that what
No,
you're
I
trying to
did not
say?
have a hand
Okay.
in that. I did not have a hand in that. Somebody had, you know, a nice night and made a couple texts and got his team into an event. So
There you go.
And that's like falling on a grenade, though, isn't it?
So, you know, so we talk about Belmont with a lot of pressure on Tuesday night wrestling Adams Central. Garrett's going to be wrestling at Brownsburg. We talk about in between now and when the seeds come out. I was looking at the North Montgomery tournament. Hanover Central is going to be there. Franklin Central, a pretty good team. Noblesville's there. New Haven is there. Whiteland is there, according to Indiana Matt. And so all of those teams that we're talking about setting themselves apart on 4A, still with some challenges between now and January 4th or 5th.
Yeah, the holiday tournaments are going to be good. I know Hanover Central is at Al Smith this year, so they might not be.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be really good to see some of those teams
Guess
there.
who's calling?
Uh-oh, you just got interrupted.
Good evening, Coach Gable. This is Rex Brewer and Dane filling on with Joe Caprino. Did we catch you in a time zone issue?
Well, I am in Nashville, Tennessee right now, and I had some family things going on, and I thought I'd be home by now, but I'm still in Nashville. But here I am. Sorry, no, we're in a time zone issue. Yes, we're in Central.
Well, Coach, Dane Filling here, and we've just had the opportunity to talk to half a dozen, 10 coaches, whatever, about being invited to the Team State Tournament. 15 teams finding out today that they're one of 44 teams that are going to be competing at Team State on January 10th. And we've just had a lot of fun over the last 2 hours. We talked to BJ Farrow at the beginning of the show about what it was like in the mid-90s when the IHSAA sort of brought about this format and presented it to Indiana wrestling fans. And we just kind of wanted your take on how you felt about those early tournaments and the importance of a dual state tournament and how it sort of shapes your year and training and sets the path for the end of the season each season.
Well, you know, I've always been a fan of the dual meet state tournament, along with the individual tournament, you know, going simultaneously. I just thought it's the best of both worlds. And there were some fantastic knockdown, drag-out matches every year at Center Grove. When those teams hit the mat, there was so much excitement. Standing room only, screaming, yelling, great fan base, and you know, the who's who in wrestling was there, particularly Mater Dei versus Belmont so many times, but Ben was there, Mishawaka, Portage, Perry, Meridian, Griffith, you name it. They were all there, and it was fantastic. I feel blessed and fortunate to have been around coaching during that time period. And I wish we would have kept that series, but you know, I understand the individual format and how the collegiate system works in the NCAA, and they keep it on individual. But I just thought with the team factor, every wrestler on the team, a true team, was important, from the very best to the very least. And that just made it so much more exciting, I thought.
So, Mike, as an official refereeing down there, you'd look up in a crowd and it looked like, even though there was 8 different schools there, it looked like 30% of each side was either Mater Dei or Belmont, because those fan bases were so huge. And we talked earlier on the show, that gym was so loud you could not even hear yourself think. And to me, that is the ultimate in like a team dual tournament setting that Center Grove had. And I think that building probably held 6,000 people, and I mean, every seat was full.
It truly was, and it was an honor to be able to be part of it, and exciting. Like, every match had to be so ready, and every individual in every team had to be ready for his team. And I just thought that was a great team sport. You know, with individual, you can have 3 or 4 or 5 very good individuals and carry the day and win a state title for your team and your school. But I thought, man, you know, just putting a team against another team, pitting them, and you just didn't know how it was going to turn out. There was so much excitement and upsets and great victories, and sometimes the team was supposed to win it won it, and other times it didn't happen that way. But man, like you mentioned, the Mater Dei versus Belmont, I'll never, ever, as long as I live, forget that excitement. I wish it was back.
Well, Coach, talk to us a little bit about when you were in those situations and preparing for those team state tournaments at Center Grove. Who was the guy on your staff that was constantly looking at potential matchups, potential moves, lineup changes and switches and all those types of things?
Well, I think we had a number of great coaches. You know, Randy Hopper was there, but John DeWig, Joe Mayer, and the list goes on, ex-wrestlers that were there helping. But honestly, we all studied it pretty heavily. And we knew from the dual meet, from the individual meets, along the way with the individual tournament where the strengths were and things like that. So each coach was assigned, and I think each wrestler was assigned. But really, you just had to be ready to wrestle your match each and every time you stepped on a mat, and that's what made it exciting. So, Randy Helfrich was with me every step of the way through my years. So obviously, we were a pretty good team together, and I've had a number of other assistant coaches that have contributed mightily. And like I mentioned, most of them were ex-wrestlers. Same for Belmont and Coach Farreau. He had a lot of state champions that were mat side with him too. So that's part of the program tradition for all the good teams, I think.
Coach, one of the things that I remember, a lot of people probably don't think about it this, maybe it was just the age that I was, but I remember that random, I don't remember if it was a Tuesday or a Wednesday in January when you would just refresh the IHSAA website at noon 1,000 times until they released the draw of which semi-state was going to wrestle, which semi-state on that Saturday. And, a lot of times the way the draw unfolds says a lot about what the eventual championship match is going to be. And I think there were plenty of examples of that back in the IHSAA days, and certainly some of the matchups we've been talking about today, potential matchups. A lot of it depends on the draw and which way the bracket goes.
You're absolutely correct. And, those are the unknowns. But I think it's a fair system that, any team can be drawn in with any other team, and it might be your best two go right away at each other. And I think in the team state series with the IHSAA, the state championship match many times was decided earlier in the day. And by the time you get to the finals, might have been anticlimactic in some cases, but overall, every team was ready and on fire, and every match is so crucial. And I know that the Coaches Association is keeping the team state going now, and I think that's a wonderful thing too. It's a little bit different format because of the different divisions and the different wrestling sites, but it's still great. It's about as good as we can have it right now. I wish we had both sponsored by the state, however.
Well, Coach, we thank you for coming on the show tonight, and we look forward to talking to you down the road.
Well, thank you, and thank Rex, and thank all of you for sponsoring wrestling so well. And I'm sorry I was late tonight. I don't know. I didn't really have a time written down. I was supposed to call you, and I should have verified on that. But we're in a different time zone, and it's nice down here in Nashville, but I'll be heading back into Indiana in the morning. So,
well, Mike, when you have your name in my phone and it says HOF after it, we're going to cut you some slack. So I think the HOF gets you a free pass. But we appreciate you taking the time tonight, Mike, and we appreciate the support you give to our show. And we always know that you're so jealous of what we have here in Indiana. And you take this and you send this link to all the people in Evansville, and you said, we need to do what the guys up in Adams County are doing.
Well, Adams County is carried away as far as setting the stage for the very best following and support of wrestling in the state. There's no question about that. And I want to thank you for that. And I'll try to say, I always do spread the word. I don't know if it goes very far, but I do want to wish you all happy holidays.
You too, Mike. We appreciate it, and we'll talk to you down the road.
Okay, take care.
And that's been the Hall of Famer, Mike Gable. And I tell you what, we started the show with a Hall of Fame coach. We end the show with a Hall of Fame coach, and everything in between was just fantastic. We do appreciate Joe coming down and running that. And Dane, I was so scared that wasn't going to work, but we had it all figured out before, and Joe ran it, and it was seamless.
And I'm probably going to have way too many more invites here.
Well, the burgers are good. You know that. The burgers are good.
Well, with that, we sign off tonight. We want to thank Steve Rouse back in the studio for putting up with us for an extra 8 minutes. And we look forward to our next show. Remember, we don't have a show next Sunday, and our next actual show will be on the morning of day one of the Al Smith. And I believe, Rex, you're going to be in attendance.
I'll be there.
Joe will.
I didn't realize you're going to send me someplace else the next day, though.
Be in attendance. Well, I told you about it in July, but that's fine. So, signing off for High School Wrestling Weekly. Have a good night, everybody.